Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is Control Ultimate Edition. We are heading to the investigation sector. Now, I'm going to say this right now. If you're here for just the Controls story, you can probably more or less skip this episode because the investigation sector here ties into the Alan Wake DLC. It's kind of a side tangent. But if you love the Remedy-verse and learning more about that and just the crazy stuff in this universe, stick around. Because we're going to be dealing with some weird stuff.
Hello? Anyone here?
Nada.
Guess not.
No one here anymore. Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland. Here at our latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor. Researcher Ezra Cruz. Agent Caroline Dempsey. Agent Lindsay Malcolm. Agent Charles Murray. Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of these active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. So this section is lost.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
Darling investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous something regarding inhuman treatment of currently housed in the bureau, or probably children, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of probably research sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such something contained there. One confirmed the something's code name to be probably P6, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the something research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. Okay, that maybe means something else then. Maybe they were talking about the, Maybe they are talking about the, I'm not sure on that one. Could be the interdimensional creature that destroys everything, but it comes in contact with, or, I don't know, could be a few things. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into something research. Casey Inquiry. Okay, so Alex Casey is, I believe, a character from one of their earlier games. And I can't remember if he's also a character from Alan Wake's books. I don't fully remember. Mr. Dennis. A request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Well, there we go. It is his character. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into. What's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Alan. Stop screwing up reality, Alan. I know you suck as a writer because you keep putting weird rules in place that, like, oh, for everything good that happens, there must be weird counterbalances and trying to throw everything into turmoil. But Cut it out. Learn to write happy stories. Or something. It's not that hard. There's so much to look at here. Tractor supplement. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Male Caucasian. Case summary, 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report, remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings, blunt force injuries, head, lacerations, left ear cheek, blunt force injuries, extremities, dislocation, right knee, complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Okay, I'm not quite up to date on a few of those words for medical terminology, but I'm pretty sure that's very, very bad. Extensive trauma, abdominal region. That one, definitely bad. Complete avulsion of... Yeah, avulsion is the one word I'm not quite sure on. But I'm pretty sure it means everything was torn to pieces or really bad in some other way. Complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Conclusion. It is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Fun. Resignation letter. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's probably safety. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our who has routinely ignored my request for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the loose inside. Probably anomalies. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The has failed his agent's director? I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Oops, wrong button. Oh, I press F, it just drops stuff. That's good to know. Alright, so that looks like the way to go. Let me keep looking around here first, though, because too many new goodies. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there is an increase in all cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more awe cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing, and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in this sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. So it sounds like they lost control of the sector, and for whatever reason, kind of got ignored here. They all had to move into this one area to work because the rest of the sector was lost. Cauldron Lake update. It happened again, third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our... don't know. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough, but why would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Ooh, I hope we get this in the Alan Wake 2 DLC about it. About that listening station up there, the cabin or whatever it was. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the lake house. Research station. Oh, it's the lake house research station. Well, either way, so we should get something DLC-wise on this in Alan Wake 2 eventually. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Cauldron Lake if they won't let me see any data? I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings in the meantime. I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estiva. What's our map look like? area to the right. Oh, that's actually a dead end. And area up. Looks like up is actually the way to go. Interesting. Well, first, then, let's push this button.
It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Well, that one's green. I'm not sure why it powers exactly, but apparently it's not working on whatever it's supposed to be working. Oh, wow, there's a lot of reading in here. Okay. World building. Director investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland was launched into the of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive when with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable, between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. I'm guessing confrontations between those two. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest that their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the projector kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's something has anything more than interpersonal disagreement. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any something, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to file. And yet, it was in fact, he was compromised by the hiss. And he was slowly losing his control. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen? Holding a dangerous specimen in investigations. The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Issues. Underhill background. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. This is the one lady who's down in the mold, studying that. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling. They appear to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector, and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. So did they lose control here recently? Recently enough that this file involved recent events anyway. Astronaut helmet? I can't pick up. Invincible astronaut helmet. Okay. Interesting. Nothing over there, nothing over there. We went in there. This is in my way. Get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way. There we go. Fragile, you say? Yeah, really was. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target. Like you asked, I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like we suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it wasn't it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings, 2 overlapping circles, with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. That's one of the signs on one of the doors in the motel. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the middle. I don't know what it's in relation to quite, though. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Interesting. Yeah, oh, man, I feel like I should know that one better, and I don't. Ethics investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation, we launched whatever was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic and something were brought into the oldest house and placed under examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic death of preternaturally, or maybe not death, but I don't know, something of preternaturally inclined something. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human rights. This investigation team unequivocally denounces the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be discontinued immediately. Be my guess. I'm kind of filling in here with a few things I suspect they mean. Not sure what's up with that. Lots of classified. Okay, cool. Well, here's where I need that. Okay. Tractor procedures. Item is not in Bureau custody. None known. Interesting. A Frank elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unnamed locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Bureau, owner of Bureau Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Bureau beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Bureau, only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Bureau earlier that night as the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Cool, so rogue tractor animal. Cool. Alright, well. Where did I... You're coming with me. Over there.
Now that gate should open.
Open sesame. Specimen escape assessment. The purpose of internal investigation is to examine the containment failure of specimen. Is that SI or SL? I hate when that happens. 1. The result in the deaths of agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network on the something of something. The specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive behavior. Cross-referencing that data was with various logs, found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice entered this sector. Alice Wake, I'm guessing? Or her other name was, she didn't take on Wake, I can't remember for sure. But anyway, Alice related to Alan Wake, yes, entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation, and I believe this person they're referring to is Hartman. Otherwise, the other person. Given their connection to the same case, it is likely that Miss Wake's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the something investigation is ongoing. Okay. Hold up. Map. Oh, this is the way to go. Wait, then if that's the way to go, where is this? Oh, that's where I came in. That's what that other branch up is. I was misreading the directions on the map. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was reading the map a little sideways. Alright, nothing else in here then that I can see, so let's move on. Taking this.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Yes, the old area. Nope. Blessed Organization. This group individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. Interesting. Alright, so we have to go to the motel for this one, and we cannot go through there. Interesting. Once again. Alright. Click. Click. Click.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
Well, that's some trippy stuff. Definitely don't... Yeah, if you got epilepsy issues, beware, but you should know that already from any of this game. I believe I gave a warning on the first episode. Wake and scratch, it seems.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
That is some trippy stuff.
Yippish.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
I mean, of course Thomas Zane's met Mr. Scratch. I'm pretty sure Thomas Zane was the one who sent him out in the first place. If I remember right from Alan Wake 1.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about.
Also,
What's he doing here?
Yep, Spiral. Okay. Also, I found that really weird that
Thomas Zane was with him.
Thomas Zane looked exactly like Alan there.
No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
The fact that he looked like Alan also makes me wonder. That pushes more for my theory that I've had, which is that Thomas Zane and Alan Wake are actually one and the same, just overlapping time frames of each other, or clones, potentially of the same person recreating themselves to try to break out of the dark place and whatnot. I don't know. I have theories. Traverse the Ocean View Motel. Yep. Can't get out this way yet. There's that circle with a dot. Doors. Reverse pyramid. Like that one that they were talking about, like, oh, if that touches that one, then they'll swap something and bad things. Could be referring to an alternate dimensional space to that, or it could be referring to the former. I forget about this one. Man, there's so many weird things. Nothing there. Nothing there. It's nighttime this time. Okay. Very similar otherwise. Just gotta take a quick gander over here. Anything else new? No, all the same. Okay, that just echoed weird. Okay, gonna turn that off for now. I don't know if I need to turn it on or off or what, but let's just turn stuff off for now. Since I suspect there are problems. I can't push the button again. Interesting. I can't turn those back on. Also interesting. That's not doing anything. So what am I missing? Oh. Turning off the vending machine. Caused a train whistle. Not that. No, the darkness killing the light bulb. Something going on here, just killing all the power.
Dr. Emil Hartman. Devout. Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC, brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound, a resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, Could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
So Hartman, out of desperation, jumped into the Cauldron Lake area, got taken by the darkness, became a Taken. The Taken him got captured by the Bureau, and then the Hiss intervened and took it and mutated it further, so now he's a Taken Hiss. Yeah, that's gonna end well for everyone. I love this effect.
Lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. A thing that went through another change.
There we go, moving on. Alright, we're gonna have to fly down there, looks like. But first, I want to fly over here. Check this. Yeah, this place got a little wrecked. That is not coming back from that. Okay. Gotta watch out for this annoying thing. I see you, I see you. Bye. Just gonna check over here to be sure. Pretty sure this one doesn't open either. Yep. Bye there. Have fun, Mr. I'm angry. Eat everything, critter. Ew. Well, that's bad. They did not escape that mess properly. I don't see anything else here that we reach, so I'm pretty sure we're going in here. Has Ozzy been here? And it looks like it.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
We are in the investigation. Nothing. Something going on in there with floaty objects or darkness. Everything up there. Nothing there. Oh, it's not just floating objects, it's weirdly multiplying, fading away objects. That's great.
Doesn't look like a house shift.
No, that looks pretty messed up though. Do you want to know? I don't know. Alright, took here. That doesn't appear to have done a whole lot for me, like stabilizing anything. Check out in here. No one. I kind of get the feeling like these safe rooms really did not do the job. Shaded facet. Okay, so we can get a new resource out of this. And the history here. Boom. Catch. Check. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Where are you? What's up? There's a lot of you guys here.
course, the hiss are already in here.
Where else would they be? Of course the hiss are already in here. They got nothing better to do. Service tunnel. Map. Alright, so that's going to lead us around and be the progress point. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip at night and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. Well, that's helpful. Not. What is that? Don't read confidential correspondence. It's not just rude, it's illegal. Yay?
Whoa.
Okay.
Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Yeah, kind of looks like it. Yeah. Can I go in here? No. Okay. Had to try. More paperwork. Hartman arrest. Wake, Alan Anderson, Tor Anderson, Odin Anderson, something, Lane, Rudolph, Desla, Wendy, Emerson, Thomas, Dennis, Special Agent Remy. Charges. Code 4, kidnapping of altered individuals. 1. Code 8, sanctions against altered organizations. Code 37, obstruction of Bureau investigation. Code 74, breaching the Ash Act. I wonder what this Ash Act is. I hope we get more info on that, because I can't remember if they ever explained it or not. Additional notes. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each except the Anderson brothers due to their senility, and Wake possibly deceased. Okay, first off, you should not leave the Anderson brothers unsupervised. They may be senile or seem senile, but they, when they have their moments, they rock. Literally. And that rock usually is a whole event. Also literally. Clear, clear, clear. Alright, that's gonna be important later. Maybe. Hidden location, I'm coming in. Knock, knock. Alright, ooh. Personal mods full, critical dodge efficiency. Alright. I think I do remember hearing that this place had, some... This DLC brought in some new mods. Alright, shields, kills, reload efficiency. Oh yeah, they have a special symbol to indicate their special ones. Interesting. Let me keep working through this. Yep, they've got that weird symbol meaning they're from the DLC. Okay. Evade cost when at critical health. I still don't care about that. Melee damage after melee kills. If I did melee, sure, but I don't really. Shield ability kills. Don't really use either of those. Shield energy cost. Evade. Hold on to that for the moment. Energy recovery speed. Already got a better one. Energy. Health recovery per element pickup. And that one. Alright, that cleans up that mess quite a bit. We're gonna have to do this here pretty soon anyway. Exclusive to peers. Alright. Well, that takes care of a few things. Oh, that's cool that the, one, that the oldest house has that, and two, that it went off because of the destruction I did, triggering the fire suppression system there. That's kind of cool. Alright, I think we got everything here. Moving on.
This darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
Alright, so yeah, this is where we get some different mechanics in play. Because now we gotta use light as well as our normal combat, because we're dealing with some taken junk as well as the usual issues. You're with me. You're. Oh, wrong button. You.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Now, if you've never played Alan Wake, you might take a while to figure that out, unless you're paying attention to the hints, I suppose, but that they tend to give. But yeah, either way, they are very dead, and either have been for a while or something stripped them down. Oh, mold. Good, the mold guy in here too somehow. Great. Alright. Okay. Get out of my way. I'm glad I came in here after getting mold sorted out. Oh, they are destroyable. That's interesting. I thought those looked like something I could maybe do something with, and I was right. Let's get some distance and blow that up too. Or if that means I'll have to come back here eventually as a mission to blow some of this up, or whether it's just a matter of trying to clean up the area a little bit while I'm at it. Yeah, nothing major here otherwise. Cool. Moving on. Do. Knock knock. Great, my light just broke. Hartman, yeah. My control point now. Filing and processing Firebreak Operations Center active investigations. So Operations Center that way. I think this was the area where we were cut off before, right? Anything in here? Hold on a sec. Dead plant. We can't talk to this one though. Sad. Can't talk to that one to revive it. Nope, not that. Thank you. We could easily hide a secret in that mess. Here we go! Welcome to the darkness.
The sound made. The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden. Darker the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time.
Okay, I'll get some power on here, it looks like.
Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
And some power in here too is needed. The Shadow. Her natural entity is an aggressive, aka the Shadow is an aggressive consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient darkness, probably, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material, as well as exerting something control over its surroundings, I'm guessing. Type 2, B, shaded individuals, human bodies, encased by the Shadow. These individuals became notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain fractions of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, which may imply a shared link to a overriding intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive, defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an outbreak? I don't know.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
So that was a record from after Alan probably got captured by Hartman, but before Hartman got taken by the darkness.
Is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not.
Alright, I very much need to find. Here we go.
By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own
What's up there?
drives me to comprehend all. We are
Alright. Eagle Limited Summary. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as something. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had been altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the awe was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. Event response. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car. They exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. Great. Okay, so I just turned on all the lights in there. There were some hiss deaths. So... oh, and I can't undo that. So cool, I either have to find another battery or go without that, I guess. Just hanging out up there? Yeah, I'm checking your own buddy at you. Yeah, hi. Ooh, new enemy. Finally, haven't had one of those in a while. Hiss Agent Airborne. This subgroup of Hiss Corrupted Ranger has manifested the ability to levitate, similarly to Hiss Elevated Agents. However, these airborne Hiss Rangers display no telekinetic abilities and simply continue to use mundane Bureau weaponry. This evolution, being so similar to the Elevated, possibly indicates the Hiss can share permutations through a type of network or perhaps osmosis. However, the fact that this development in Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the investigation sector may indicate that an environmental factor is responsible. They could be responding to an altered item or other paranatural element found only in that sector. Or perhaps this is the natural progression of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. Not enough time has passed to determine a conclusive trajectory of development for each of the Hiss manifestations, assuming any such trajectory exists. By order of Director Faden, compiled by Emily Pope. Okay, cool. We have more reading. This place has buttloads of it, but we're getting so much universe building here. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine, altered, and paranatural materials, was raided in the Ketch Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but that they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. There is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, that their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Fun times. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was hired to do. My job. Want to know what I call that? BS. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or Oz or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some stupid things. They already know the facts. They know just as much as us, if not more, and they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. That piece blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me get back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension, see if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. Sounds like Agent Hewitt has a point, considering everything. Oh, hey.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
That sounds like some federal BS to me. But also nothing that I wouldn't expect. Rocky Mount, VA, Ballard, Utah, Sterling, Colorado. Ah, it's this map again, only this one doesn't have all the lights off. Keystone, New York, New York, Ordinary, Michigan. Okay, so I'm guessing these are Lansing, Michigan. I'm guessing these are monitoring stations for Bright Falls, Washington, Pemberton, NJ, New Jersey. Yeah, so yeah, definitely listening stations for particular. Hello. Oh, Ati left us some work to do.
Darkness everywhere. New day, same old bloody city, said the old lady. Like tar but good for nothing. Get rid of it. It's getting bad. The vents, they are full of mold shit. It's not good for you. Headache, nausea, old depression. How can you tell when you are eating?
Well, I already took care of one of them. Nice.
Lads in here have died standing up. Lighten them up.
Ah, more plants. All
Oh, okay.
let's go make some new friends.
So maybe we will get to revive that one dead plant we saw. So it says lighten them up, so do I have to shine lights on them instead of talk to them? Interesting. NASA Cooperation Review. Following the NASA FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the something or other far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of black rock from its medium Earth orbit. The Bureau will provide the Bureau. Something will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing all sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. That makes sense. I mean, you need satellites in the sky to monitor a situation more effectively. Alright, let's do some poking around here. Nothing there, nothing there. Interesting. So, what do I do about you? I don't have a battery for you. Oh, yeah, I have a theory. If I do... Nope, that didn't even knock it out. So I can't just break it out of there. That's very interesting. Is there a battery somewhere else I could find? Not aware of one right off. Anyway, the dead plant in question was right down here. Already looks like it's pretty well lit up, but what if I do bring a actual light source with me? Or do I need to bring... Is that what I need this battery for? To power up certain things to light them up with? Actually, looking around, I don't see a good lamp or fixture right there. There we go. Yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with this. Well, let's try this baby first. there's another dead one.
There you go. Doesn't
Ah.
that feel better?
Okay.
Welcome back to the land of the living, little buddy.
I gotta go all the way back to the abandoned offices for more of them. There's a third one here somewhere. There you are. AC systems, loading bay vans. Or if I could have done these accidentally beforehand, running around with the lights as I did, but I'm kind of guessing there was no way to. Like, it probably wouldn't have let me. Yeah, so we already took care of that mold problem in there. Lottie calls and the assistant janitor obeys. He has called for us to give the plants a quick dose of light. Revive them for reasons he knows better than me. Okay, so somewhere in these abandoned offices are plants. Here, plants. Here, plants. They would totally hide one up here, wouldn't they? I don't recall seeing one. No, no, no. No. Okay, not seeing one in there. We will find you. We will find you, little plants. Or is the abandoned offices further down? Nope, this is abandoned offices. So this is the right spot. Somewhere in here there are plants in need. There's one. Found you. Never mind that I just covered you in rubble. It's okay, you'll be fine. It's only a bit of dust and debris and rocks. And probably asbestos knowing this place. Alright, now where's the rest of you? Not there, not there. In here? No. Would they be back this way? Doesn't look like it. Now, where are they? Oh, hi there. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, well, we'll find them and then we'll worry about the lights. Sources itself. Don't see any out there. Abilities. Nothing new there. Astral constructs. Construct Surge. Surge fires adjacent munitions that detonate when manually triggered or if their timer expires. Okay, so we get a new weapon form from this DLC. I don't remember that. Sounds like sticky grenades. And we're going to need a lot more stuff to do anything with it. Alright, well, let's upgrade Pierce for now. This will get grip up while we're here. And yeah. There we go. All the upgrades. Alright. Let me check out this new loadout. Let's change out charge for now for that one. Where are we? Surge. Rate of fire might be important for this one. I mean, it looks strange. Fire. Detonate. Does that just shoot projectile like shrapnel? Kind of looks like it. Well, there's all my plants. Alright, let me go get the light for you. Now I've got some more. Not what I need. Oh, and they hid one in here. I walked right past it. There you go, buddy. Come on, back to life with you. Alright. Then our loading bay is somewhere we have not been yet. We're gonna have to put this into either one really super long episode, or I'm definitely gonna have to break this up over multiple episodes, it's looking like, because this is proving a bigger DLC than I remembered. Not gonna complain, I like it, but wow, that is a lot. Alright, I'm guessing there will be somewhere I can find a new battery for that. I just have to find where. Oh, hello. Didn't see you.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go. Alright, that was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. The recording better work this time, or I swear to God I'm... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
It looks like it's still playing. Is that it? Okay, let's check that one real quick.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance, even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best, but mostly just inconclusive and
Okay, yeah, it looks like that may have been it, but that was weird because it looked like it was still playing. So I was kind of waiting for it because they already had that one weirdly large gap there once. So I was like, are they gonna have another one? Either way, it sounds like the hotel was messing with that guy for sure, and then maybe sent someone or something after him. And it sounds like it misplaced his probably firearm.
I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch
So he may
even a
have been
glimpse
onto
of
something
anyone or
about that
anything.
whole it messing with him thing.
They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think. Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate.
Yeah, okay, it definitely cut off
There we go.
there when it was supposed to, and yeah, that was the end of it. Because there's our weird gap, and then we had that bit with him going, oh, wait, where's my...
That was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. Ha! The recording better work this time, or I swear to God. What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
Yeah, that sounds like that didn't end well for him. Okay, and I have no secondary batteries, which is annoying. Full point. Well, these are all a bunch of Director Trench and some other people.
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
Draining my power. Weird. Not my health, but my energy. That's fun. Alright, we've got batteries placements. Where's the batteries? There's another battery placement. Where are all the batteries? Hartman background. Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated a recovery center in something which Washington focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Dr. Hartman's treatment center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent parallel abilities that he may possess with the aim of shaping something to his own benefit, which has earned him a Class 2 paracriminal designation. For more on the link between artists and their ability to something reality through artistic mediums, see file. Investigation has proven that Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during the something investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released months later. Having been deemed a negligible threat, his medical license has been permanently revoked. And how'd that go for you? Well, great, huh? Give it. Come on. Ow. There we go. Door appearance. An excursion into the Ocean View Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. This door featured a spiral-shaped marking, designation door. Similar to the other doors, it is locked and cannot be forced open. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls referred to blah blah, and former wife of missing author Alan Wake, a suspected paratarian, contacted Agent Sean Dempsey of the investigation sector using the phone number given to her in 2010 in accordance with civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Mrs. Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview. The excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day, determining whether this was a basic synchronicity event, if Alice Wake is responsible for its appearance, or if the door itself relates to 35 is paramount. She should be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken into the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur. Interesting. What have I got here?
Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand.
Alright, let's move into the light here, just so I can deal with that, and then we will listen to that one.
Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr. Hennerman.
I do?
Tell me about Delivery Disaster.
The movie? It wasn't very good.
That's not what your review said, but we'll come back to that. Tell me where you got the movie from.
Movie night with a K, not an N, not night like nighttime, but
Who contacted you? Who told you to review that film?
no one. I just did it because it looked obscure. I didn't even like the movie. I shouldn't have given such a high score, but reviewing obscure films makes you look smart. And I thought if I looked smart, I would get listeners. My podcast would take off, and I could move out of my parents' basement, and maybe even go to college and get a film degree like I've always wanted to. I swear.
Okay, the kid doesn't know shit. I'm ending the session.
Kid got hold of an it sounds like, and was doing a podcast on it. Great. Vending machine procedures. An unknown testing in the investigation sector is currently ongoing. A vending machine, its front covered in a fox wood panel, coin operated buttons for selecting food products. The item generates and stores a variety of material, both edible and otherwise, in its rows of internal trays. Initial testing suggests the item reacts to the mind of the individual in close proximity and will produce whatever they subconsciously desire. Attempts to cause the item to create a living something or other have consistently failed. The item was discovered in a nursing home in Alberta after a resident named Muriel called a local news station about a magic vending machine. This news story reported the nursing home staff was purposefully stocking the machine with distinctive food and objects as a way to raise resident spirits. The Bureau response team encouraged this story while confiscating the item. So, handy vending machine. Got it. Oh, there's something. I'm gonna miss something in this darkness.
Okay, this room is really intimidating and all, but I know my rights. It's not a crime to try.
Okay, this guy at least talks clearly.
Making unauthorized contact with a dangerous paranatural entity is indeed a Bureau offense, Mr. Langston, and can be prosecuted as such.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Listen, this is being blown way out of proportion. All that happened is I heard Dr. Hartman had been brought in, and since I'm a huge Alan Wake fan, I thought it'd be cool to get a copy of The Creator's Dilemma signed. That's a book that Hartman wrote about.
We know what it is.
Okay, good. So yeah, I was just looking to fill out my Wake collection. I certainly didn't know Hartman had turned into some kind of shadow zombie.
That's a completely inaccurate description.
Whatever, listen, I'm just a desk jockey. I sort papers, do data entry, that kind of stuff. Don't come down on me like this. I made one mistake. I see people break the rules all the time and no one is pulling them into dark rooms to yell at them. Yesterday, Dave Gleason and his crew were talking to that empty spacesuit and laughing their heads off.
We're letting you off with a warning, Mr. Langston. But this is going on your record, so one more screw-up and our next chat won't be so friendly.
Great. That is just great to hear, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey,
Thanks.
Is there any chance I could get my copy of The Creator's Dilemma back?
Get out.
Wait, Langston as in the guy in charge of the Panopticon? That Langston? Okay, that's cool that we can get up here. Because if it is that Langston... Well, what was that? F.R.A. Moreau? Okay, so there's gonna be a way we get up there. So why? Oh, okay, the elevator does. Alright, I don't see any batteries down here, which is also interesting. Hopefully we got everything in here, because I can't see anything. Well, that's a problem.
Now what? What is that?
Hi, Hartman.
Come on, elevator, time to go.
Thank you for the battery.
So you don't like the light? I can use that.
Okay, so yeah, I have to fight him using the light. Got it. Got any more of those? Oh, there's more batteries there. Okay. There's a whole box of power cords. Got it. That's handy. Alright, Hartman, you and I need to have a little chat about your behavior. Okay, where's that other spot for this? There we go. I missed this area over here entirely. Okay, we'll come back to that. For the moment, I have things to push. Also, this means we have enough of these to go around for that one area out there again. Where do I put this? Where do I put you? That one's already plugged in. That one's done. Let's see, plug-in spots over here. Seized protection. Also, interesting color on that one. Anything good in here? No, I'm sorry, Hartman, I'm doing a little reading. Night Springs screenplay, page 1. Note the screenplay was found after the Bureau acquired the Night Springs television series and all its past episode scripts. It appears to be written by Alan Wake as part of an application to become one of the show's writers. Night Springs speculative script over the threshold darkly. It is only human nature to wish to control the forces around us, and even more so to possess them. But what happens when those forces are not ours to claim, or even of this world? What if they are the things you can discover in Night Springs? Secret Lab. Night. We are in a secret lab. The large sign on the wall reads the Federal Bureau of Night Springs. I've told you several times, Director, it isn't ready. It's ready when I say it's ready, Doctor. But the being beyond the portal, we have no control over it. Sounds like fun. Hold on a second. Don't see really anything interested there. Hi, Hartman. Yeah, I see you out there being all creepy and monsterized. Nothing here of interest. No. Ah, here's where I need another. Okay. Oh, you have projectiles. That's not cool. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Lights on. Take that, Hartman. And take this. Hartman's seen better days.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Okay, so now we can go up. But that looked like Hartman went in... Yeah, it went in here. And I can't go into. I call BS. At least I can see in here now. Yeah, okay, I can't go in there. Got it. Alright, anything else I missed now that I can actually see what in the blazes I'm doing? Nothing there. We searched over here. We already read that one. And that one. Alright, I think we're good. Well, let's go grab a battery and take it over to that other room. That we were missing the battery we needed. Yeah. Operations. What did that do? What did that do? Turn on a few more lights? I feel like it should have done more than that. What did you do? Guess it did technically turn on a few lights. But, alright, that wasn't nearly as useful seeming as I had initially thought. Yeah, we already went in there and listened to that. Already listened to that one. What's there? Nothing new there to deal with. Huh. Well, that was kind of disappointing. Oh well. Time is it? I got some time still, so we'll keep going. Oh, that closed. Well, isn't that interesting? Ah, but what was closed can be opened. That's nice. Alright, put those down there for now. I don't know if they'll come up the elevator with me or not, but let's bring them along if we can.
What are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Winston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Thanks, Langston.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess.
Couple years?
You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
Was.
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh, yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay. Well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of
It's
exciting.
just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items.
Doesn't
Still, I
want to
don't know why
brag.
people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming.
Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows. We're supposed to be on the same team, but sometimes it feels like it's every department for themselves, like it's a race and we're all trying to be number one. If it is a race, though, I'd say Darling is a mile ahead of everyone else. He was Trench's golden boy for years, but that relationship has gotten pretty tense, or so I've heard through the grapevine. Not that I spread rumors, just, people talk. Not me, though. I keep my nose to the grind. Too much work to do to focus on those kinds of things. I need to stay focused so I can get my work done and get home to feed Alfred.
He's
of course,
just gonna talk forever,
can't always
isn't
make
he?
it home for mealtime, so I have my neighbor check in on Alfred at 7 o'clock if I'm not back yet. She's very nice.
I'm
Her
gonna
name
keep
is
listening to this.
Maria. She's older. She came to New York in the 50s to attend school and has been here ever since. She has a couple of kids. I met them at Thanksgiving. Big family. Very nice people. Anyway, she has a key to my apartment, and she gives Alfred his dinner if I'm not home. I'm gonna have to buy her a nice fruit arrangement as a thank you after this. I'm missing a lot of Alfred's meal times. She's probably gonna have to go to the store for more wet food. I'll have to remember to pay her back. Hold on, let me make a note. Pay back Maria for Alfred's food. Okay. Oh, one more thing. And buy her a fruit arrangement. All right, done. Are you a cat person? I don't think I ever asked. You seem like one, though. You'd like Alfred. He's very proper. Really carries himself well, I named him after my favorite poet. Felt like a good fit. I got Alfred just before Sylvia died when I was at the... I don't really remember where I got Alfred from. But, boy, those two did not get along. Oh, no. Sylvia thought she owned the place. Didn't like me getting in her way, scratched me more than once when I was just trying to move her food bowl. That cat was a real asshole.
Wow.
I'm realizing now that language was
kinda
not
harsh.
entirely, professional. You see, Sylvia didn't tolerate most people, or animals, or anything. And that's what I meant when I said asshole. I would never use that word about a person. It was just, hey, there's a light flashing on the console here. I got to, check this out. I'll get back to you later.
Real smooth, Langston.
Interesting. Sorry, I had to listen to that because craziness. But also, Langston mentioning, do you have any lights, flashlight, Christmas lights? You could wrap yourself in them. That's a reference to Alan Wake 1 for sure, because Barry Wheeler, Alan's agent, did exactly that. He wrapped himself in it. Okay, we gotta find Hartman over the Eagle one, and find Hartman in the Framora. Okay, so basically, both directions need to be traveled, and eventually we'll end in the Bright Falls, where we'll have our final battle. What other missions do I have? Missions... not that one. Another fine mess, burn the darkness. That one over there, there, and there. Okay, so we got burn darkness. And we've got to clear the mold, there and there. And we've got to find nourish the plants over there. So we got missions galore in this place. A lot more than I remembered. Which is good, and I love it and all that, but yeah, okay, this may take more than one episode. I also forgot about all of the lore that they just dump on here for the world building and the lore and the just everything. So, yeah, I may break this one into a couple parts. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to break this one into a couple pieces. This part here, look how little ground we actually covered there. That was not a lot of ground we covered. To be fair, that was also because we did a ton of reading. But if that continues, we're still not going to cover a lot of ground. Alright. So I'm going to keep going at least until I get to a new point of, like a new neural point or whatever to lock in, focus point. Then we'll worry from there. Might as well head this direction. Doesn't look like it matters which one we do first. I hope you are all enjoying this as much as I am. Like I said, it's a bit of a break from the standard Control story, and some people don't like that and gave it mixed reviews as a result. But for me, I don't know, I love all this stuff with the Remedy universe lore, so I'm good with that. Okay, we got a control point here. Actually, did we get more points ability-wise? We did. Okay, let's improve that. Cool. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, well, since we just got to one here, and that probably means we won't get to another one for a while, I guess I actually should end this episode here. And then next time, we'll continue along, we'll go through this circle, get all that cleared out, and then we'll go hit the other side and all that. And I'll try to finish this. Well, I don't know. It depends on how much is reading and everything goes on in all these places, how much we have to explore going through these. If each wing becomes an investigation, becomes an episode, or whether we'll make a lot faster progress now that we've gone through the initial bulk of introducing the area. I'm not 100% sure how that was go, because I don't remember how saturated and stuff this place was. Yeah. So thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Comments below what you guys think. Favorite bits of lore from this. And implications. Knowing Alan Wake 2 now, I really have got to watch all the way through that game. I don't own it because it's not on Steam right now, and I'd rather come on to Steam before I own it. Plus, I'd want to wait for them to finish all their DLC for it before I play it anyway, so I probably should just watch someone play through it and just, get my lore caught up on some of the more recent stuff that way, other than snippets. Yeah. Otherwise, hit like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone. Bye.